Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my thoughts on the last 2016 presidential debate. And this was the only one I watched. The only reason why I watched it was because the moderator and the person who was asking the questions was Chris Wallace, who is the son of the legendary 60 Minutes reporter Mike Wallace, who died in 2012 at the age of 96. And the reason why I watched it was solely because of Chris Wallace, because he was giving truths about Clinton and Trump that their supporters did not want to hear. And not only that, he was asking real good questions that from the reviews of the other debates I've seen weren't really being asked, like the ones that about the issues that people are talking about the most. Those questions weren't really being asked until the final debate, which was on last night. So, who did I think won the debate? Well, if you're a Clinton fan, you're going to say it's Hillary Clinton. If you're a Trump fan, you're going to say it's Donald Trump. Okay? Now, we all know who the Clinton fans are. We all know who the Trump fans are. So, at this point, it's pretty subjective who won the debate. That's all presidential debates, regardless of who it is. Taking out Clinton, take out Trump, and add Obama, Romney, or McCain, Obama, or so on and so forth. It's all subjective who you think won. Now, since I'm in the middle of the road when it comes to politics, I'm a registered independent, even though I side more with libertarianism than anything else. I'm not a registered libertarian because just like conservatism and liberalism, libertarians don't own me. I have my own thoughts on on some of the libertarian items on the platform. So even though this election did make me a libertarian, I'm not a registered libertarian, and I have a good reason for that. I'll get to that in a second. So anyway, who was more prepared for the debate? Well, of course, Hillary Clinton was more prepared for the debate. Who was more spontaneous in the debate, just giving off random answers, even if they made no sense whatsoever? Of course, that was Trump. Now, when it came to, the best performance out of the whole debate, it was the debate moderator. Yeah, Chris Wallace had the best performance out of the whole debate. I'll tell you why. Because he controlled the audience and he tried to control Clinton and Trump as best he could. But here's the thing, though. Chris Wallace did his research and did his homework prior to the debate. He called out Clinton on the TPP. He called out Trump on some of the things he had said in the past. Now, one of the things, though, I will say is that I truly do think that so far this has not convinced anybody to vote for any one of them still. There's more undecided voters now than ever before. It's just the truth. No one's really liking both of them still. And even with the audience that was quiet for once, people still aren't sure who to vote for. And so, am I voting for Hillary? Am I voting for Trump? I don't like either one of them. If I do vote, it's probably going to be for Gary Johnson. But is there a chance that he'll win? Probably not. But that's my thoughts on the final presidential debate. Now, let me explain the other half, my thoughts on political ideology. Doesn't matter if you identify as conservative or liberal, which are the two main political ideologies. If you identify more with libertarianism, or if you're like me, you are a libertarian because of this election, and you realize that you're in the middle of the road, so, but you're not a registered libertarian, or you're not registered this or that. Let me explain to you my thoughts of political ideology. I think political ideology, regardless of even the one you favor, is cancerous. I'll tell you why. Political ideology is completely the antithesis of your own mindset. And allow me to explain. We all have opinions on certain things, for example. Now, for me, I have my opinions on race baiting. I think it's stupid. I think race baiting causes more racism. I think when people race bait, I think the more there's a racial divide in the country. Same thing with gender baiting. I think it causes more of a sexist problem than actually solves a gender issue. And thanks to the social justice warriors on campus, because of you fucking idiots, now there's more gender divide than ever before. So, of course, I have my opinions on gender baiting and race baiting. That's for a different video, though. That's just an anecdotal part of my opinions, though. But see, that's my point. They're my sole opinions. I read and listen to all different types of opinions. I listen to the liberal opinions. I listen to the conservative opinions. I listen to the independent opinions, so on and so forth. And when I read each one of them, of course, you know, all of it sounds suspicious. If you're like me, you remove yourself from the debate, you take a step back from the political discourse, and you realize that something's fucked up in each of these stories. So you have to fact check them. You have to fact check the conservative side, the liberal side, and the independent side, because there's bullshit on all sides. So after you sift the bullshit from the truth, and you have to realize, out of all the truths that are there, which truths can you take from each opinion and you know, come up with your own conclusions based on the opinions or the facts, more I should say, that are presented to you. Well, that's up to you. If you're conservative, you're going to agree with complete conservatism, regardless if it's true or not. If you're a liberal, you're going to believe MSNBC, regardless if they got their story straight or not. If you're like me, an independent, and you just buy every single piece of information that's anti-conservative and anti-liberal, you're going to buy it, even if it's true or not. But I'm not like that. I'm really not. I like to sift the bullshit from the truth. Because once you sift the bullshit and disregard it, you're left with truths on the independent side, the liberal side, and the conservative side. And it's all uncomfortable. All the truths that you see from all sides are uncomfortable. That's the thing about truth. It's not always comfortable. When people are, you know, given diagnosis medically, for example, sometimes they're not comfortable. Sometimes it's relieving that if somebody suspects that they have diabetes and then they get a sugar test done and realize, no, it's just you have a bloating problem. I'll prescribe you medicine. Okay, it's a relief. But some other things, when you may think you have something minor and something serious, it's uncomfortable to know what you were just diagnosed with. And that's the same thing with politics. It's kind of like a doctor's visit. And you hear truths on the liberal, conservative, and independent sides that are not comfortable. They're anything but comfortable. And it makes you really question the state of our country. So after I sift through the bullshit, I realize, okay, look, what are my opinions based on the truths here? And some of them are very strong, unpopular opinions, and some of them are, you know, the mainstream opinions, but that's very few. I like to be the unpopular opinion guy, because the unpopular opinion guy or gal, regardless of who's, you know, reading these stories, the unpopular opinions tend to be more leaning towards the truth than the popular opinion at the time that's accepted by the public. This is just general fact. So look, do I think liberals have points from time to time? Yes. Do I think conservatives have points from time to time? Yes. Do I think My side, the libertarians, have points from time to time. Yes, but can libertarians, conservatives, and liberals be wrong? Yeah. Okay, let me criticize the order. Let me criticize liberals first. First of all, is there a pay gap? Okay, granted, yes, there is. Is it as bad as you say it is? No. If you actually look it up, pay gap and American pay gap situation. Now, you hear a lot of liberals say, oh, the pay gap is 78 cents to a man's dollar, or it's 98 cents to a man's dollar, or it's this, or it's that. No, actually, in 1968, there was a Supreme Court decision that went into law, and we still have it to this day. It's almost been 50 years since this took place. There was a law that was passed by the Supreme Court, and that is it's unconstitutional to pay women less than men based on gender. And so ever since 1968, women have been paid equal to men in money. But here's the difference, though. There's a difference between the careers that men and women take that determine their earnings. So if you have a man or a woman that takes a secretarial job, they aren't going to make as much as a man or woman who gets a job in, let's say, in the steel industry. Why? Because the steel industry is more dangerous than a secretarial position. Or if a man or woman takes a job in a doctor's position, they're obviously going to make more than a man or woman who works, and let's say, in a convenience store position like me. Why? Because when you're a doctor, you're dealing with human lives. You're dealing with medicines, and if you fuck up, you could lose your license. But if you get fired from a convenience store, you can always get a job at another one. Well, yeah, jobs come into play. It depends on the job you get. You can make a lot of money based on a very dangerous or very hard and important job, but you could make very little money based on a less serious or a less dangerous job. And this is just how economics works. This determines how much money you're going to make. Be conscientious of the job that you get. If you're not conscientious of the job that you're applying for, well, there could be there could be an unhappiness about the job then.
Hey, my sneakers up.
So, now that I corrected liberals on the pay gap, and yes, there's a pay gap, but it's only an 8-cent pay gap. It's not what you think it is. Now let's move on to, conservatives. Conservatives, are you correct in saying that regardless of somebody's race or gender, that if they don't, get off their asses and get a job, that it's their own fault? Yes, it is. But also, there are some people who are legitimately taken down by the system. Yeah, it does happen in some places in America. It's not everywhere in America. It's some places. Now, does this mean that everybody has a disability? No. And I agree that, we shouldn't, let people just say they have a disability so they could not work. People have to be diagnosed with a disability. It just works that way. If somebody thinks they have a disability that will prevent them from working, or something happens to them that they can't work anymore, normally doctors find that out. Normally hospital doctors or somebody's own personal physician finds that out prior and making the decision they could go back to work or not. Now, I think if somebody just files for disability and they're able-bodied, well, that's kind of telling about the person. But here's the thing, though. I think if people are genuinely put down by the system, it's not their fault. Like I said, it's not everybody, but it's for a very selected few that they fall under the place where the system is legitimately built against them. Now, let's look at gay teens, for example. Gay teens are a pure example of this. You look at private businesses across America that have that hold high, very holy roller fundamentalist Christian values, for example, and they take the Bible, like radical Muslims take the Quran, very seriously. And so in the Bible, Leviticus 20:13, they say that, oh, if a man sleeps with another man, he shall be stoned. Yeah, that's bullshit. Okay, so you have some of these positions that they ask you if you're gay or straight, and if you say you're gay, oh, go fuck yourself. Find another place I will accept you. See, that's exactly what some of these people do. And it's pretty fucking telling based on the business owner. And so, yeah, people can be brought down by the system. Now, let me correct the side that I'm with now, the libertarians. Look, government is not always the problem. Can government be the problem? Yeah, the government could be the problem from time to time, especially with the NSA. Yeah, government can be the problem from time to time. But is government completely the problem? No, actually, we do need a government in order to sustain this country. Now, the question is, do we abolish the government we have now and rebuild a new one? A lot of people are saying that, but is it a smart decision at the time? No. I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think we have to act like statists before we actually fix the government from within. Or I have a better decision. How about we stop putting fucking nutcases in the libertarian debates? And maybe we might be taken seriously as a political platform. Just saying. Just saying. Because if we had Bill Weld as the nominee instead of Garrett Johnson, maybe he would have been taken more seriously by Democrats and Republicans. Just saying. So yeah, those are my corrections on the three sides. I do want to correct anarchists, though. If you don't like the country, get the fuck out. Seriously, if you don't like America, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out if you don't like this country. It's simple as that. But yeah, political ideology is cancerous. It can take over your mentality and your opinions, and it can blur your logic or reason. Now, does this mean I side? Oh, I do want to get to why I'm a registered independent, not a registered libertarian, even though this election did make me a libertarian. When you're a registered libertarian, here's the issue that pops up. When people ask you, what are you registered as, and you say libertarian, doesn't matter if it's a Republican or Democrat who's asking you this. They'll say you're fucking crazy and that you need to be a mental institution. But if you say you're an independent and say you side more with libertarians and you vote libertarian, they really don't give you much of a stink eye then. They still say you're fucking nuts. But here's the thing, though. You save a little bit of your sanity when you say you're a registered independent. And so, yeah. And the reason why that's my reasoning is because you get a fucking stink eye if you say you're a registered libertarian. But if you say I'm a registered independent, I vote libertarian, though, people don't really fucking care then. It's really a paradox. Really, it is. It's an embarrassing paradox we have. It's like you could have somebody who votes Republican in this day and age. People get so offended when somebody says they're a registered Republican. But if somebody says, no, I'm an independent, but I vote Republican, people don't care then. Or if somebody's a Democrat, people get so outraged by that. But then if they say, oh, I'm a registered independent, but I vote Democrat, people are like, okay, whatever. these paradoxes are also double standards and they're fucking annoying. If you really want to end these double standards, instead of doing what other people are accusing you of, how about you do the antithesis of it, which is the opposite? How about you actually use your fucking common sense? Now, for me, I don't care who people are voting for. I could give a shit about that. It's their right to vote for whoever they fucking want to. And I'm so sick of these liberals and conservatives yelling at each other for voting for somebody that the other person doesn't like. It makes no fucking sense. And they have every right to vote for whoever they fucking want to vote for. It's plain and simple. We have the right to vote, so people can vote for whoever the fuck they want to. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter in a presidential election. It doesn't matter in a local election. It doesn't matter in the state election. The reason why it doesn't matter is because Republicans and Democrats act the same fucking way. They promise you what they're going to do, and they sit on their fucking asses and don't do nothing. Yeah, they really don't. They don't do nothing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See ya.